Pisces, pause. This is not a horoscope. This is an urgent summons from fate itself, demanding your full attention. Mark this date, September 23rd, 2025. On this day, Saturn, the great architect of karma, concludes its retrograde shadow period, initiating an irreversible process of cosmic justice. The energetic pendulum, which has long swung behind your back, is now rushing back with resounding force. This is an exclusive window of opportunity when the universe itself will settle accounts with your secret ill wishes, and you will witness this triumph of justice. Prepare to observe. For months, you've been drifting in a thick fog of others' projections, in the murky waters of your own empathy. Your intuition, your primary gift, has been muted by the constant background noise of betrayal and hidden envy. You felt your life force draining away, but couldn't find the breach in your ship, because it was being drilled from within, by those closest to you. This stagnation, this exhausting wait for a resolution where you can no longer distinguish friend from foe, this is the final straw that has overflowed the cup of cosmic patience and triggered the mechanism of retribution. Saturn activates a fundamental law: to dissolve yourself in others, absorbing their lies and venom, is to willingly become a vessel for external darkness. This is a karmic crime against your own soul, and the universe will no longer permit you to commit it. It demands a crystallization of spirit from you. Your boundless empathy must transform from murky waters, where predators lurk, into the purest, unbreakable ice of wisdom. And it is against this ice that the ships of your ill wishes will shatter. Those accustomed to feeding on your energy will suddenly encounter a mirrored wall that reflects all their own darkness back to them. And this catalyst will come from an external source, like an accidentally overheard conversation, a document that reaches you by mistake, or a sudden confession from someone you least suspected. It won't be a loud exposé, but a quiet truth, sharp as a needle, piercing the veil of deception. In an instant, the entire mosaic of lies will assemble into an ugly but perfectly clear picture. You will see faces, names, and motives with such clarity that you will shudder. This is the point of no return, the moment your soul refuses to be a victim and chooses to be the judge. Illusions will burn to ashes, leaving behind only cold, diamond-like clarity. And this cold light of truth will pierce you through, straightening what was broken. For the first time in years, you will feel a steel rod of will forming within you. This will not be rage or a desire for revenge. It will be a quiet, profound, and final decision from your inner tribunal: enough. This word will resonate not just in your mind, but in every cell of your body, severing all energetic ties to those who devalued you. In this moment, not an avenger is born, but a guardian of your own soul. You are no longer an ocean where one can carelessly dump their refuse. You are a glacier whose movement can no longer be stopped. This is why this process is irreversible. Recall all those nights you stared at the ceiling, wondering why this was happening to you. Remember every devaluing word, every deferred dream, every act of self-sacrifice that was taken for granted. Did you think this energy was lost to the void? No. All this time, unknowingly, you were making deposits into the universe's karmic bank. Your pain, your disappointment, your exhaustion, all of it has been converted into pure energy of justice. And now this bill is due, and this payment will be rendered in their own coin, minted from their very lies. From September 23rd, karmic law will take physical form. Every slander they spread to tarnish your reputation will materialize as a real stain on their own. Every intrigue woven for your downfall will become an invisible cage in which they imprison themselves. The universe will not seek revenge on them. It will simply make them drink to the last drop the poisonous cocktail they have long prepared for you. This is a promise etched in the stars. Their weapons will become their judgment. And at this moment, with the verdict already delivered by the stars, your inner voice will treacherously whisper, "Retreat, don't rock the boat." The siren of old habits will sound, to hide, to retreat to your safe harbor, just to avoid confrontation, just to avoid seeing the ugly truth. You'll want to dismiss it all as your own oversensitivity again, to convince yourself that you misunderstood everything. for the familiar fog of self-deception is far more comfortable than the blinding light of exposure. This is the most subtle poison the past will offer you, the temptation to close your eyes again and believe that nothing happened. But this time, the universe will leave you no choice, bestowing upon you a new mission, the role of the guardian of the karmic mirror. Your task is not to attack or expose, your strength lies in crystalline stillness. Simply be that flawlessly smooth, cold mirror in which every ill-wisher will be forced to see their true face, distorted by malice. You no longer need to prove the truth or engage in battle. You become living proof yourself, and it is this passive yet absolute power that will force them to retreat, for nothing is more terrifying to a liar than to confront their own flawless reflection. And now, without hesitation, you pick up your phone. Your finger finds that very name, once synonymous with warmth, now sending a chilling cold through your chest. There will be no explanations, no farewell messages. You simply press delete. This is not an act of revenge, it is an act of surgical liberation. With this quiet digital click, you erase not just a contact, but an entire false universe built on your trust. You incinerate the archive of lies. And in the deafening void that remains, for the first time in years, you hear your own clear, unadulterated voice. Curtain. The first act of the karmic drama is played, and this liberation immediately triggers a chain reaction across three key theaters of war in your destiny. The first is the twilight garden of relationships, where you must, with a surgeon's cold precision, separate the poisonous ivy of false friendship from the living vine of true loyalty. The second is the arena of ambitions, where everyone who built a career on your ideas will see their papier-mâché throne crumble to dust under the light of truth. And the third is the market of hidden debts, where all invisible financial and energetic vampires will receive a single crushing bill to pay. These are the three fronts of your liberation. The first front is the quietest and most venomous. In the twilight garden of relationships, you face not a battle, but a silent inspection. Your main adversary here is the smiling parasite, one who has fed on your light for years, masquerading as care. Your weapon is not a pruning shear for accusations, but your reborn intuition. Listen not to words, but to the pauses between them. Sense the energetic draft that emanates from false consolations. Your soul is now a flawless tuning fork, and it will instantly recognize dissonance. You don't need to uproot anything, simply stop watering the poisonous ivy with your attention. Deprived of your energy, it will wither on its own. The second front, the arena of ambitions, will demand a different kind of courage from you. Here, silence is not a weapon, but a symptom of defeat. Your primary vulnerability has been creative generosity, bordering on self-sabotage. You've been accustomed to scattering your ideas like seeds, demanding no recognition for the future harvest. Now, the universe demands not a battle, but a single precise legal gesture from you. Find that specific document, that letter, that dated draft that irrefutably proves your authorship. You don't need to cry foul about theft. Simply place this fact on the negotiation table. This is not an attack, but the restoration of cosmic copyright. And you will witness how the original burns away the counterfeit without a single word. But the most challenging battle awaits you on the third front, the market of hidden debts. Here, it's not merely about money, but about unpaid soul debts, where your kindness was mistaken for weakness. And here, the universe will demand the impossible of you, not to demand repayment, but to publicly annul the debt. This is an act of supreme spiritual economics. You are not forgiving them, you are detaching them from your future, transferring their case to cosmic accounting. From this moment, their debt is not to you, but to the cosmos itself, and its interest is accrued not in currency, but in events. Their financial ruin will become a direct echo of your magnanimity. And just when you believe this path must be walked in icy solitude, an unexpected beacon will appear on your horizon. It might be a sage whose words in a randomly opened book resonate as a direct answer to your unspoken question, or an old friend, suddenly returned from oblivion with a map of the terrain in hand. This ally is not a rescuer throwing you a lifeline. He is a pilot who sees the submerged reefs hidden from your sight. He is sent to you not out of pity, but out of respect for your newfound strength. His mission is to confirm you are on the right path, and your triumph is an already foretold event in the chronicles of the cosmos. And your planetary rulers, Jupiter and Neptune, impart their primary testament to you, engraved on the mother of pearl of ocean depths. This is the key for the hour when darkness thickens to its limit. Remember, when doubts engulf you like an icy wave, do not seek solid ground beneath your feet. Stop fighting the current, become the current itself. In this simple act lies your absolute power. Your enemies know how to build dams. They are masters of intrigue and obstruction, but they do not know how to stop the ocean itself when it decides to assert its rights. Your nature is your primary strategy. But be vigilant. Your greatest strength also harbors the sweetest poison. It is the call of the misty depths, the quiet whisper of your innate escapism, promising salvation through disappearance. It will offer you not to fight, but simply to evaporate, to become a cloud that no one can harm. To lose yourself in a world of dreams where all enemies are mere shadows, and pain is just a bad dream. This siren will sing of how sweet it is to become no one again. To return to cozy chaos where there's no need to defend yourself or be a glacier. To yield to this call is to nullify your victory a moment before triumph. And once you reject this sweet poison of oblivion, something strange will happen. The war will end before it even begins. Your adversaries will suddenly fall silent. Their shadows will vanish from your radar. A deafening, almost unnatural silence will descend, and in it, a thought, poisoned by relief, will echo, "Is that all? So simple?" This is Saturn's final test. The universe is staging a dress rehearsal for your victory to see if you lower your icy shield prematurely. It lulls your vigilance, offering the illusion of an easy triumph. For the most cunning enemy is one who feigns defeat, only to strike you in the back when you celebrate. And right into the epicenter of this deceptive silence, on October 10th, the fiery blade of the full moon in Aries will strike. This will be their last desperate gambit. They will assume you've relaxed and will unveil what they considered your greatest shame, their final trump card for all to see. This won't be mere gossip, but carefully fabricated compromising material cast under the spotlight. But their perfect plan will contain one fatal flaw, one detail they overlooked. And this detail, illuminated by the merciless moonlight, will prove not your guilt, but their malicious intent. In this moment, the quiet war will become a public trial. Their trap will have sprung, but they will find themselves caught within it. And here, amidst the ashes of their conspiracy, you will have to pay your price. Victory in a karmic war is not a parade, but a walk across hot coals. You will have to sacrifice what is most precious, your shadow, your right to anonymity. From now on, you are a piece on a public chessboard, and your every next move will be scrutinized by an indifferent crowd. The old world, where you could shield yourself from prying eyes within the mother-of-pearl shell of your soul, is irrevocably burned. This is your cross to bear, to carry the light of your truth through a square filled with curious and judgmental eyes. It is here, under the merciless spotlight, that your steel rod will first show a crack. The roar of the condemning crowd will drown out the voice of your truth, and you will suddenly realize your enemies are defeated, but they have dragged you down with them. Their lies are exposed, but the grime of this battle is now permanently ingrained in your reputation. Victory seems Pyrrhic, and liberation, a new, more sophisticated form of imprisonment. In the deafening silence after the battle, not relief arrives, but the icy realization, perhaps their main goal was not to defeat you, but to break you, forcing you to doubt the very value of this struggle. It is at this absolute zero point that you are seized by the primary, existential dread of Pisces, the fear of being forever severed from the ocean. The universe, your eternal confidant, is deafeningly silent. The stars which promised triumph appear as cold shards of glass on the black velvet of emptiness. You have won, but you are left alone in a scorched desert where there are no enemies, no allies, no meaning. And then, in the deepest darkness of this cosmic solitude, you notice it. Not a light, not hope, but a tiny, barely smoldering spark of your own spirit that refuses to extinguish. It is the only thing that is real. Endure this night, and with the first ray of dawn, this spark becomes a flash of memory. In your consciousness, the words of that pilot resurface, his map where this scorched shore was not the end of the journey, but merely a sandbar before entering a new body of water. You understand, he warned not of a storm, but of the salt water that would inevitably flood the deck afterward. And a strategy is born, brilliant in its simplicity. Not to cleanse your reputation, but to fertilize the soil for a new garden with it. Your highest alchemy now is not to turn lead into gold, but to transform the poison of public opinion into the elixir of absolute inner freedom. And from this moment, your hunt begins not for retribution, but for a single treasure, the black pearl of sovereignty. This is not an adornment, but an artifact of your soul, born in the darkest depths of betrayal. Every poisonous whisper, every tear you absorbed, crystallized layer by layer around that very spark of spirit, transforming it into an indestructible core. Your goal is not merely to find this pearl within yourself, but to bring it from the depths into the light, making it the center of your new universe. This is your scepter and your crown, proof that from now on you can rule the ocean, rather than dissolve within it. And now, you don't just possess this pearl, you are it. Every gesture, every word from now on is dictated not by old pain, but by its cold, pearlescent radiance. You gather the scattered threads of your destiny, severed connections, stolen projects, unpaid debts, not to mend them, but to weave them into an indestructible rope for your final ascent. This is no longer an emotional reaction, but a precisely calculated operation to reclaim power over your own reality. You are preparing to present the world not your scars, but your new sovereign decree. And this sovereign decree is not just words, but the choice at the final crossroads where all your past lives converge. One path leads back into the comfortable swamp of self-sacrifice, where you are awaited again with false embraces, ready to continue draining your soul. The other is an icy ridge, leading to a summit where the air is thin, but the view of the universe is absolute. This is a choice between the familiar role of a holy martyr and the unfamiliar role of a deity of your own reality. And the cosmos, holding its breath, awaits your step, knowing that there will be no turning back, no matter which path you choose. You raise your foot over a path of frozen light, and in that instant, your oldest executioner rises from the depths of your soul, your own virtue. It pleads with you for one last act of self-destruction, disguising it as ultimate mercy. It promises you the peace of oblivion if you dissolve yourself again so others may live, and in its voice rings the sweetest lie of all, the lie that your sacrifice is your essence. But you look upon this phantom not with the eyes of a martyr, but with the gaze of a surgeon who has located the source of the ailment. And with a single silent decision, you amputate this false sanctity forever. And in place of the amputated virtue, no void remains. Into this sacred wound, as if into a gravitational center, rush all the fragments of your soul that you have given away as alms for years. The energy invested in others' successes, the empathy expended on others' pain, all of it returns to you, its sole rightful owner. For the first time, you feel yourself not as a collection of fragments, but as a monolith. This is your coronation. You ascend the throne of your inner world, and from now on, every atom of your reality pledges allegiance only to you. Your empathy, once your curse, now becomes a hyper-accurate instrument. You no longer drown in others' emotions. You read them like a musical score, instantly recognizing falsehood and hidden intent. The past ceases to be a source of pain and transforms into an archive of learned manipulation tactics. You are no longer a splinter adrift on the waves of others' desires. You are the ocean itself, aware of its tides and currents, and now you decide which ships reach your shore and which will break against the reefs of your newfound boundaries. This is the dawn of your new era, an era of conscious creation of your destiny. And now your soul mantra resonates not in your mind, but in the pulsation of reality itself. My will is the tide, my boundaries are the shore. Repeat it not as an incantation, but as a physical law you have just written for your universe. With each repetition, the old map burns to ashes, and enemies become mere specks on the horizon of the past. The war is over, but the story is not. Now, before you lies a blank canvas of the ocean, and the stars whisper not of retribution, but of new yet undiscovered continents of your soul, awaiting their Columbus. Your great voyage has just begun.